All right, happy Monday. We are live. I am Julie with Balance Life with Julie, regenerative health practitioner, holistic nutritionist. And every Monday I come on live to answer health questions and just kind of share some information. All right. So I get this question all the time, and I've been getting it again. Actually, let me just back up the truck. If you're not familiar with what regenerative health is, I always like to share this because so many people don't know what regenerative health is. And so basically, regenerative health is all about addressing the root causes of chronic illness. It is a little bit different than some of the other modalities that are out there. So, in allopathic medicine, they use either surgery, chemo, radiation, or pharmaceuticals to try to manage symptoms or address things that are going on within the body. And then in a naturopath or a homeopath has their various modalities that they use, but those are really meant more to manage symptoms. In regenerative health, we really focus on how does the body work? Why is a system out of balance? And what can we do to support overall health and well-being? And how can we allow the body to regenerate and heal itself? Because the body can heal itself. That's been my personal experience having reversed hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. And it has also been the experience of clients that I have worked with. And I know others who also practice regenerative health that have had the same experience reversing all kinds of different chronic illnesses within the body, things that they were told that they would need to be on medication for the rest of their life, and et cetera, et cetera. So the question that I get all the time is how to reverse Hashimoto's. So the thing to keep in mind is that our body, our beautiful body, has the ability to heal itself. And so when we're experiencing symptoms or we're experiencing imbalance or there's some kind of a diagnosis, what that really is a big clue to show us what system, what organs, what glands are out of balance. And then it's really up to the individual to make the necessary diet and lifestyle changes to allow the body to support the body so that the body can actually heal itself. So in the case of Hashimoto's, what that indicates is that there's a lot of chronic and systemic inflammation in the body, and that there are parasites. Everyone has parasites. I know that a lot of people don't think about it. I know for myself personally, I didn't know anything about parasites until I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. And then I really went down this whole, rabbit hole, for lack of a better word, researching everything and understanding and going, oh, wow, like I do have parasites and I do need to address them. And I have addressed them. And it's something that's going ongoing. So we know that there is inflammation in the body. We know that there's an acidic environment within the body, and there's the presence of parasites. Now, obviously, when someone's dealing with Hashimoto's, that's more focused on the thyroid. But if we're dealing with MS, we know that there's imbalances and things happening within the nervous system. And so depending on what gland, organ, tissue is out of balance, that's where we need to focus. But overall, it's something that we have to address overall within the body, right? So our body is this beautiful symphony of systems that work together holistically. And so it's not about isolating and just doing one little thing. I can also say this as somebody who has gone on a health journey and has done the work myself, is that you have to think beyond. Your body didn't just create the illness like yesterday. It has actually been decades in the making. So you have to kind of think back to what was your childhood like? What were you exposed to? How, like, vaccinations, all those kinds of things, chronic stress, trauma, all those things really play a factor. And I would say specifically in the case of Hashimoto's or autoimmune conditions, Consistent, persistent stress as well as trauma plays a huge role in the creation of the illness within the body. So if you're wanting to create health within the body, what you want to be doing is number one, diet and hydration is foundational. There's no way around it because our body is mostly water. So if you're not having quality water within your body, it's going to make it hard for your body to bring oxygen and nutrients to all the trillions of cells within you. So that's foundational. Quality of food is really, really foundational as well. And I did a post about this actually over the weekend. Unfortunately, most of the food that people buy, even at the grocery store or at a farmer's market, it's GMO. It has been sprayed with all kinds of chemicals and toxins. In fact, if you go into a conventional, like if you go into a grocery store and you just go into, the produce section, it'll just tell you the price and what something is, but it doesn't actually tell you the information on that produce never tells you what it's been sprayed with. And so then you're going to the organic produce section and you can see, well, oh, this is organic and this is the regular stuff. Be very wary. That regular stuff is GMO and it's been sprayed with all kinds of things. And that is very, very problematic for your body. So at the foundation, we have to address diet and hydration. And then it is really, really important to address chemical and heavy metal toxicity within the body. When we're dealing with parasites within the body, every autoimmune condition is, we know that there's a presence of parasites. In a case of something like cancer, we know that there's a lot of parasites. There's a high parasite load. And the reason that the parasites are there is because you've created an environment within the body that allows them to flourish. It's a very comfortable place for them. And so we need to address diet, hydration, chemical and heavy metal toxicity. The reason we address those things first is we want to start to change the internal terrain within the body so it becomes less hospitable for, entities that should not be there, like parasites. So we have to change the internal terrain. What that will also simultaneously do is um, it'll start to naturally reduce the inflammation within your body, and that'll help you to start to feel better. So I always like to change diet and hydration first, then go after the chemicals and the heavy metals, make sure the elimination pathways are open, and then the final step is doing deeper parasite cleansing. Usually as we're changing the diet and hydration, we do some gentle parasite cleansing as long as elimination pathways are open. But then I always like to go deeper and really get at the chemicals and the accumulated heavy metals. A lot of people don't, and I myself personally didn't think that much about chemicals until I started to do this work. I mean, first it was I got sick, and because I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's back in 2014, I had to really start thinking about all of my habits, like how did this illness get created in my body and how could I get rid of it? And so I looked at everything. I looked at my diet. I looked at sleep. I looked at movement. I looked at toxicity within the body. I looked at the products that I was using. Everything that I do now is completely different from what I used to do 10 years ago. And guess what? I feel 1,000 times better than I did 10 years ago. I've also been completely off medication now for 5 years. So clearly this stuff works. And then the other aspect of this is that this is a lifestyle. It is really about swapping out habits that are not health promoting for habits that are health promoting. And that's from your nutrition to your hydration to sleep to movement to mindset to products, everything, right? I talk about this a lot on my social media, but women, we wear makeup, right? And a lot of the makeup and skincare, it is toxic. It is full of endocrine disruptors or cancer-causing chemicals, or neurotoxins, or sometimes there'll be a chemical that's all three of those things. And women are putting makeup on their skin, and anything you put onto your skin is an organ. Anything you put onto your skin absorbs into your bloodstream, and it creates a problem for your liver. So when somebody has a diagnosis of Hashimoto's, we know that not only is their thyroid gland struggling, and that there's inflammation and parasites and all of those things. But we also know that I know for a fact that their liver is completely overworked, and so is their gut and their kidneys, right? So these are the systems that we have to support within the body as we're helping the body um, to eliminate the illness and the chronic disease. Now, so many people have this habit. They're like, oh, I have X and Y condition. How can I fix it? And it's like, well, first of all, that condition didn't get created overnight. And second of all, we really do have to take a very organized, step by step approach to address that chronic illness, because number one, we don't want to shock your body. And number two, it just takes time. It's like literally peeling back the layers of an onion. um, and I like to make things manageable for people, because everyone's got, most people I know don't have the luxury of being in a condition where they're laying in their bed day after day, trying to recover from something, right? So we have to do this work on their body and help support their body towards optimal health. And they still have to be able to do their job, be in their relationships, maybe, they've got some kids or maybe elderly parents that they're taking care of. Like, most of us have multiple things going on at the same time, and we also have to simultaneously be on a health journey. So I try to design protocols in a way that's intelligent, that's manageable, where we're getting at the things that we need to get at, but it's going to take some time. And the most important thing is your own desire, um, and commitment to your own health and well-being. Like, I can share all the information, but if you don't implement it, I've had this experience happen with a couple that I just started working with. I wrote them a protocol. I sent it to them 2 months ago. The wife has started. She's a few weeks in. They were doing some traveling, so she's like 2, 3 weeks in, and the husband hasn't started his protocol at all, right? So I can share the information with you, but if you do nothing with it, there's not much I can do for you, right? I can't be, in your kitchen making you your superfood shake, and making your hydrogen water and all that stuff, and helping you to do all that, do the day in, the day out. That has to come from you, absolutely. And it really comes from first having the mindset and the desire of like, I am going to get healthy no matter what. And what I have noticed, even on my own health journey, is when I make a commitment to do something, usually everything will go sideways first, to almost like the universe is testing me to see how resolved am I? Like, how committed am I to this thing that I said I was going to do? And the mindset has to be right before you can really get started. So to me, even before we start changing diet, hydration, addressing chemicals and heavy metals, and going after the parasites and all of that, before we do all of that, you have to work on your mindset. And these are the kinds of things that I talk about in my group membership, Elevate. And it just takes time. It takes the time that it takes. Everybody's body is so different. I have clients who are super, super sensitive. And because they're sensitive, we have to slow everything down. And this is also why I don't just say, here, do this easy, simple 30-day program. The other thing is when our body is in a chronic state of illness or disease, because it's taken decades to get there, it doesn't just reverse itself overnight. It won't take as long as it took you to get sick, but in Chinese medicine, I like using this analogy. In Chinese medicine, they say that for every give yourself a month for every year that you've been dealing with a condition. So let's say you've had something for 20 years, you would give yourself roughly 20 months working on your health very diligently to get your body into a better state. And I would say, having done this work and doing this work myself, I actually think in a way it's maybe the more intensive parts are, whatever amount of time. Like for me, it was like, 6 months of really intensive protocols, and I was off the thyroid meds, and that was 5 years ago. But since then, I've continued to do stuff. Every single year, I do an intensive protocol of some sort to continue to peel back those layers, because let's face it, we live in an environment that is really, really toxic. And so we're exposed to all kinds of chemicals and toxicity 24/7. And that's just what we're breathing in, what we're intaking from the environment around us. But then there's also the stress that we go through at various points of time, right? So that also plays a toll on our overall health and well-being. So it is really, really important to think of this as a lifestyle and always be on some type of a health journey, and with the intention of supporting your overall health and well-being. And honestly, the more that I work on my health, the better I feel, the better my life gets. So it's always a win-win. You are your number one investment. So if you're willing to invest in your overall health and well-being and all of the, you know, your mindset, you're ultimately going to be the person who wins. You get to win that race, right? So that's really, really important to keep in mind, that it's you are your biggest asset. So I just want to read the chat real quick. Um, Swapping things, so Lori said, swapping things in a sustainable and healthy way. And that's really what it is. Just swapping stuff out, learning and going, hey, oh, looks like my makeup is toxic. Let me swap it out for something that's better. So, I mean, all the makeup I wear is non-toxic, but it took me a while to figure that out and then to find the thing that works. So if you want to learn about this kind of stuff, I do have a monthly membership called Elevate. I actually have a really, really special thing I'm working on for that membership in the background. And I changed something really important with that membership. I decided that I'm going to have weekly live Q&A calls for that membership, so that if someone's in that membership, no matter where they are, they have questions, they can get live ongoing support from me every single week, as as things come up. So that is a really, really cool thing. I had wanted to cover some things for the holidays. I'm going to hit this real quick, and then we're going to end this live. So it is that time of year where people are socializing more. There's parties, and it can be very, very easy to get off track with your routine. So what I'm going to say in terms of staying on track during the holidays is keep moving your body, keep up with good nutritional habits. If you are being invited to holiday parties, ask ahead of time, are there any healthy options there? And if there aren't, you can either have something before you go to whatever function, or you can make something to share. Now, obviously, that's not always possible, because let's say they're having an event at a restaurant. Although I do find that most restaurants do offer some type of healthy options. So it is really, really important that you just stay on track. And if you haven't started your health journey, this is actually the perfect time to start it, because you're going to start to develop those habits, and those habits are going to carry you through the holidays, and you're going to enter into January feeling better than some people who just kind of like throw their hands up in the air and they go, oh, well, I guess I'm starting in January. And then the average holiday weight gain is about 8 pounds. All right. So you can avoid all that by starting to move your body now, getting into good habits. I do have clients who have started working with me now because they just want to start to build those better habits. And you can do that by joining the membership or working with me one on one. But it is really, really important. How this being healthy isn't a mystery. Health really comes from health promoting habits. Move your body, get enough sleep, eat properly, get rid of the processed foods and the processed junk, reduce the amount of animal products you're eating, like get more plants into your life. I don't know anybody who hasn't benefited from having a more plant forward diet. And there are literally hundreds upon hundreds of studies that highlight this. And do your best to reduce your stress levels. Honestly, ask yourself every time you get stressed out about something, ask yourself one question. Am I going to care about this a year from now or 5 years from now? And if the answer is no, then don't give it any energy. One of my favorite sayings is where focus goes, energy flows. So anytime something comes into my sphere that I could get upset about, I'm like, do I really want to put my energy there? No. Done. Done and dusted. That's how I evaluate everything. I'm like, is that where I want my focus to go? To this thing that, and you can actually tune into your body when something doesn't feel good. That's your body telling you. Your body is literally telling you by how you're feeling, how it feels about whatever it is you're focusing on. So if it doesn't feel good, then stop putting your energy there. Seriously. You will be so much happier for it. You will have so much more calm and serenity in your life. And when you feel good, you're going to make better choices, which means better health. You see how that all starts to stack up. Anyway, thank you for watching the live. Thank you for watching the replay. Make sure that you check out the caption below this video because there's all kinds of goodies there that you can check out. And of course, if you have questions about anything that I've spoken about on this video, please put it into the comments. I love answering questions. That's the whole reason I come on live every single week. Thank you so much for following this page. If you're not already subscribed, please do so that you stay up to date on all the videos and the content. I appreciate you. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Bye for now. See you next Monday for the live. Have a great week.